Cortana, all I need to know is did we lose them?
I think we both know the answer to that.
Attention all combat personnel. Please report to your action stations. 5th Platoon, secure airlock on Deck 11. 14th Platoon, rendezvous with 22nd Tactical at Voltez Charlie 14. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
What we will let them have is a belly full of lead and a pool of their own blood to drown in. Am I right, Marines?
Sir, yes, sir!
This is Carthonasi. The Sith are threatening to overrun our position.
We're not gonna let them have it.
We can't hold out long against their firepower. All hands to the bridge.
Attention all personnel. We are re-engaging the enemy. External and internal contact imminent.
All you greenhorns who wanted to see Covenant up close, this is gonna be your lucky day.
This is a topic that has sat inside my head for a very long time. Halo's Covenant, a genocidal theocratic civilization hell-bent on the destruction of mankind. Fleets of purple ships sail out across the void, similar in appearance to the deep-sea creatures of Earth. They wage war under the command of a warrior caste of energy sword-wielding beings of great strength and skill. Their forces seem innumerable compared to their foes, and they utilize powerful energy-based weaponry and advanced shield technology their foes struggle to contend with. They are a people unconcerned with the mass murder of billions in pursuit of their goals. Their center of government is a colossal space station that is capable of constructing war material for their conquests, and is based around the technology left behind by an ancient precursor race long believed to have gone extinct. Our first encounter with them is through the eyes of our mostly silent protagonist, who wakes to find their ship in the midst of a boarding action. They quickly have to escape via an escape pod to the surface below and link up with any survivors, all the while avoiding their pursuers. The Sith Empire, a genocidal theocratic civilization hell-bent on the destruction of the Republic and the Jedi Order. Fleets of white ships sail out across the void, similar in appearance to the deep-sea creatures of old Earth. They wage war under the command of a warrior caste of energy sword-wielding beings of great strength and skill. Their forces seem innumerable compared to their foes. They utilize energy-based weaponry and advanced shield technology their foes struggle to contend with. They are a people unconcerned with the mass murder of billions in pursuit of their goals. Their center of government is a colossal space station that is capable of constructing war material for their conquests, and is based around the technology left behind by an ancient precursor race long believed to have gone extinct. Our first encounter with them is through the eyes of our mostly silent protagonist, who wakes to find their ship in the midst of a boarding action. They quickly have to escape via an escape pod to the surface below and link up with any survivors, all the while avoiding pursuers. The example is not a perfect one, but on my most recent playthrough of KOTOR 1, I couldn't help but notice these similarities. I love looking into the technological capabilities of sci-fi universes that interest me, and so I inevitably began to compare the two in depth. Then I wondered who would win if they were in the same galaxy. To explore that concept is the aim of this video. Unfortunately, one of these two civilizations has been long since forgotten about, partially in favour of what I would personally consider to be an inferior era, while the other has enjoyed an ongoing expansion to its world building and lore for several decades. Both exist in a sea of retcons and contradictions. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I shall endeavour to explore them both regardless. Primarily for the sake of fun, and also my own entertainment. This shall be, I suppose, a Versus series going into what I hope is sufficient enough depth for a pretty niche topic that I don't think I've ever seen anyone else go into. It will take place over multiple videos, across many months possibly, The script as of this time is over 40,000 words long and counting. I also expect it will be over 4 hours long in viewing time if I see it through to the end. I'm going to be using a significant amount of guesswork and speculation at various points, but all of it will have at least some basis. When that happens, I hope to give a scale of what I think is reasonable, so that you can make your own minds up with regards to what extent you agree with my conclusions. The purpose of this video is to compare these two titans of their respective settings, and to eventually assess how one would find fighting the other. In this scenario, I'm using both factions at what I consider to be the zenith of their power. For Malik's Sith Empire, I shall be using him directly in the event of the hypothetical victory over Revan during the finale of Knights of the Old Republic 1. I could just as easily use Darkside Revan instead, but I'm using Malik purely because he is cool, and a Sith that is often forgotten about. To double down on this, we are also going to be assuming that Revan tragically died in their epic confrontation. No force battery for you, Malik.
You cannot beat me, Revan. Not here on the Starforge. Not when I can draw upon the power of all these Jedi. And once you are beaten, I will do the same to you. You will be trapped in a terrible existence between life and death. Your power feeding me as I conquer the galaxy.
Furthermore, unfortunately for Malik, he will not yet be able to claim the vast territories and resources of the Galactic Core that would imminently be available to him in the event of a victory over the Republic. I am going to be assuming that the Republic and other factions, such as the Hutts, are essentially non-entities in this scenario. I'm more or less going to be isolating the territories as outlined in the Essential Atlas and gluing them to a new map that has a Covenant space superimposed on it as well, which likewise will be leaving pesky little distractions like the UNSC and the Flood behind. Basically, if it's not in yellow or purple on this here map, it's not relevant. And you can see my absolutely garbage attempt at drawing the Orion arm, roughly. The Covenant shall be in such a state of cohesiveness and eagerness that we witnessed at the start of their war against humanity. We will say, for example, that instead of happening upon the human colony of Harvest, the Covenant discover a similarly populated frontier world. Their territory will find itself some 9,000 light years south of Malik's empire at its greatest extent. There is no hardcore reasoning for this placement, just one which I find the most appealing to look at. There are some other potential starts we could have chosen in this scenario, as you can see on screen now, and all of which would significantly affect the scenario at the end. In each part, we will look at the abilities of both in depth, reading sources or posting visual evidence straight from the horse's mouth. And at the end I will summarise both sides, saying who wins this category and why. If at any time you hear a voice that isn't my own, that will be a verbatim reading from a particular source. As for the precedence of sources within each category, it's something of a contentious issue. Both interesting and insufferable depending on your outlook. As I already mentioned, these franchises find themselves subject to or associated with countless retcons. In the case of Halo, those retcons persist to new media to this very day. The lens I shall be looking at Halo through will mostly be that of one surrounding the Bungie era of novels and games. I shall include sources from later media as I find them to fit within the lore, or if they present a minimum amount of contradictions as I see it. There will be things I have not read or things that I have missed. I will not, for example, when analysing the Covenant at war, be addressing things that present significant retcons to the Human Covenant War as we knew it, such as the Banished. On screen are the primary sources I will be drawing on for Halo, and the ones I have read, played or watched. I hope you enjoy this series, assuming I can get it all out before the end of my natural lifespan. We will start our comparison of the two by looking at scale in part 1.